guys, and welcome to this pregnancy yoga class for anxiety. So when you're pregnant and you're feeling anxiety, it can be really tricky because one of the great ways to get rid of anxiety is through movement. But if you're anxious, you can feel anxious that any sort of movement is going to risk your pregnancy in some way, which if you've had any history of loss, like I have, or threatened miscarriage, it can feel debilitating and you can feel almost trapped in your body, like I can't do anything. And feeling this way can make the whole thing worse. The anxiety just keeps building in the body and it kind of feels like you're a bit of a pressure cooker and it's all building up and there's no release. So in today's yoga practice, I want to assure you that all of the movements that we're doing are completely safe for pregnancy. But I do want you to keep in mind that you need to watch how hot you get. So you don't want to get too hot at any stage during pregnancy. So keep a glass of water nearby that you can sip whenever you feel too hot. Also want you to really keep connected to the breath because it's going to be a great signal to you if at any stage this class gets too intense. So if you find that you lose the breath, I want you to stop the class. Feel free to hit pause if you don't want to miss anything. Maybe even sit down, come onto the ground and take 5 full deep breaths. And you're going to do that at any time that you feel like you've lost the breath and the class has become too challenging. And what that's going to allow you to do is catch the breath, come back to it, get back into an easy rhythm, and then rejoin us when you can. If you find, however, throughout the entire class you feel okay and you feel connected to the breath and you're not too hot, please feel free to keep going. You will build a little bit of heat in the body, so you may sweat a little bit, that's okay. It's different to the overheating feeling where you feel sick or a bit yuck. Any of those feelings, you want to stop and rest. So before we get into the class, I just want to let you know I do have a free yoga guide for pregnancy and birth. So I'll leave the link below for that one if you want to come back at the end of the class and download that one. Let's get into this class. So come to the front of your mat and I want you to take your feet slightly wider than hip distance and bring the hands underneath the belly. So even if you've got quite a small belly, if you're in your first trimester, just bring the hands underneath the belly. Roll the shoulders back and down. I just want you to shift the weight from foot to foot. Maybe taking circles if that feels good, or maybe just rocking from side to side, whatever feels most natural and normal for you. Connect in with that breath. And then I want you to let the hips settle back over the ankles. Leave one hand on the belly and bring the other hand onto the low back. And as you inhale, I want you to gently tuck the tailbone under. So it's like you're rolling the pelvis forward. So you might need to take a little bend through the knees. And as you exhale, I want you to let the tail duck out. Inhale, tuck it under. And then exhale. Stick that booty out a little. Inhale, tuck it under. And exhale, tuck it out. Inhale. And exhale. And then allow the hips just to settle over the ankles. You should find sort of like a midpoint between where you are rocking those hips. Bring the hands down by the side. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale, all the way to the opposite side. So we really use the breath in these classes to build heat, but a really safe, controlled heat. Exhale, hands back to heart. And then as you inhale, shift the weight into one foot so that you can step the other leg back. We come into a high lunge. As you inhale, straighten up the legs, reach the hands to the sky. Exhale, come nice and low in the legs. Inhale up. Exhale, come low. Inhale. And exhale. I want you to open it out to your warrior two. So you might need to realign that front foot a little. So often we want that front heel to line up with the back arch. Reach the fingertips away. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, come nice and low. Inhale, come up. So you'll notice we're starting to build a bit of heat in the body, in the shoulders, but also in the legs. So like I said, if you lose that breath and you can't do those full deep breaths anymore, you're just getting too hot, come to the ground, take a rest. Look after your baby, look after yourself. And know that you can come back to this practice at any time. Hands back to the belly. We find our goddess, which means we turn the toes out and kind of settle into the hips here. As you inhale, straighten the legs. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale. And exhale. If you want, you can add the arms. Inhale to the sky. Exhale as you sit. Inhale to the sky. Exhale as you sit. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Warrior two in the opposite direction. Inhale, arms. And exhale to lower. So another way, if you are getting too hot quite quickly, you can just do it without the arms. So you could just work with the legs. It's feeling good though. Keep those arms reaching up. And then on the exhale, reaching out to the side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're moving into our high lunge in this way, but because we've got the legs in alignment, you're probably best to just pick up that back leg so that you've got the feet on train tracks. Otherwise, you'll be a little bit wobbly. Reach the hands to the sky. Inhale as you straighten the legs. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands to the hips, shift the weight into that front foot, and you might take 3 or 4 little steps to get there. Bring the feet back a little wider than hip distance and come back to those circles through the hips. So feel free to bend into the knees so you can stick the booty back and really get movement, freely moving through those hips. And just take a few deep breaths here, allowing the body to cool. And then when you're ready, I want you to inhale the arms to the sky. As you exhale, take a seat back as if you were sitting in a chair. You notice I've got the wall in front of me, which is a great prop if you're finding that you need some sort of support in front of you, or even a chair to hold on to, like the back of the chair. Can be really helpful. If you don't need a chair, you're welcome to just reach the hands to the sky. As you inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands through heart. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, take a seat. 2 full deep breaths here. Hands back to heart as you stand tall. Inhale. Exhale, take a seat. Hands to heart. Try and keep the chest lifted. And then bring the hands onto the thighs as you forward fold over. So let the upper body just hang. You can either stay with the hands on the thighs or bring them to the shins, maybe to the floor. Let that upper body just gently hang. Maybe you need to bend into the knees to do that. Swaying it out from side to side can feel nice. And then slowly walk the hands all the way back up, roll the shoulders back and down. Do this a couple of times, releasing any tension there. I'm going to stay near that wall. I'm going to do a couple of little balancing poses, and we're using the wall just as a little bit of a support. So if you need to, you can hold on to it the whole time, or just use it to hold on to if at any point you feel like you're losing your balance. So you might want to keep one foot grounded on the ground. You might want to come a little bit higher, below or above the knee, or if you can, right to the top of the thigh. So balance poses are really great when we're feeling anxious because they force us to focus on this moment, because you can't think about those anxious thoughts if you're trying to keep standing on one leg and not fall over. So roll the shoulders back and down. You can keep the hands at heart, you could bring them to the belly, you could take them to the sky. Here I am using the wall in the first breath. Just keep breathing, let those shoulders soften. And then bring the hands back into the heart. I'm going to get you to peel that standing leg off and reach towards the foot at the back. So this might be as far as you go, just here into this quad stretch. If you're feeling okay, we can turn it into a dancer's pose, which might mean bending the knee and just leaning forward a little. It could mean turning towards the wall and having that front hand on the wall. Again, hopefully your mind is occupied balancing here. Remember, laugh at yourself if you fall. If you've got no chance of doing this pose, laugh at the ridiculousness of it all. Try and bring a little bit of humor back into our yoga practice, back into our lives. When you're pregnant and feeling anxious, it can all feel very serious. Let's try and bring a little bit of lightheartedness back. Come to the tree pose on the opposite side. Stand tall. Maybe take the arms to the sky if that feels good. So the trick for balance is foundation. So really pressing into that standing leg, reaching the fingertips up. But remember, you can have that bottom foot touching the ground. It doesn't matter. Let's find that quad stretch or the dancer's pose. Remember, you can use the wall for support. And then slowly release. Take the feet wide. Start to move your way all the way down. Use the hands to bring the feet in under the hips. We find our malasana to finish. Leave one hand grounded. Inhale the other one up. Find the opposite hip open through the heart. Opposite side. Inhale. And exhale. And then come back to center. Bring the hands to heart here. And let that belly be soft. Take a big breath into the belly. If it's not comfortable for you like this, you might want to bring that bolster in underneath the hips. And sit on down. So you're still getting all that opening through the inner thighs and through the pelvis. But you don't have to support the weight of the body on the feet, and it just feels a little bit better through some people's hips, mine included. So just close the eyes down here. I want you to rest the thumbs into the breastbone. And take a moment to connect in here, in this moment, with your breath and with your baby. I want you to thank your body for all that it's doing to grow your baby. I want you to see possibly a little bit of sweat on your brow or a light sweat on the skin or just a heat in the body as proof of how strong you are, of how healthy you are. I want you to see if you can tap into that trust that your body is doing exactly as it's meant to do. It's growing your baby. I want you to see if you can find that trust that your baby is happy and healthy. I want you to notice the breath, inhale and exhale. And I want you to imagine your baby is breathing along with you. So each inhale you take, imagine their little lungs expanding. And as you exhale, imagine their little lungs softening. And so whenever you come back to anxious feelings, I want you to come back to this breath, imagining your breath is theirs. And all the good things that you can do for yourself are felt by them. So a nourishing deep breath that calms you down is felt by them. A beautiful meal enjoyed by you is felt by them. Allowing yourself to enjoy the love that you feel from your partner is felt by them. A relaxing bath is felt by them. All the beautiful things that you can do. Treat yourself well at this time. I know that by treating yourself well, by staying calm, by doing all these nourishing practices for yourself, you're also treating your baby to those same beautiful, calm and relaxed feelings. Bow down the head. We honor ourselves in showing up for this practice, each other, and the ability to reach across oceans, through screens, towards each other, and this practice that gives us so much. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I really mean it when I say it's such an honor to share this special time with you. Please keep in touch. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you've practiced, wherever you are in the world. Like I said, if you are interested in the rest of the series for pregnancy, yoga, anxiety, I'll leave a couple of links below. You can either access those classes in my online yoga circle, which is my membership, or I sell all of these classes as a single product so that you can go and check them out. And I hope to practice with you again soon. Namaste.